Your dive into the wild, weird, and wonderfully messy world of Reddit. This is the Joevelocity Show.
And welcome once again to the Joevelocity Show. I'm Joe, and I'm here with Hubba. Hi, Hubba.
Hey, what's going on?
Same old, different day, but now it's 2026 as opposed to 2025.
Happy 2026.
Yay. Anyways,
Yeah.
so I guess we both spent our New Year's at home. It was snowing
Yes.
New Year's Eve here in Pittsburgh, and it was a mess outside, literally.
Yeah.
So
I was actually supposed to go to a friend's house and celebrate with them or whatever, but the weather was too bad.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I kind of didn't at the same time because I was tired.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking of going out that night, but I was like, but with the weather, it's kind of like, no, I'll just stay in,
Yeah.
And when you know it, 5 minutes before midnight, I fell asleep at my computer desk.
Man.
To the point where my alarm woke me up. And it's like, oh, it's midnight. Yay, Happy New Year,
Right, basically.
And then I stayed up for about 5 more hours, and then I went to bed.
It was one of them. It was one of them New Year's.
Right? Yeah, it was just kind of like, you know what? As I get older, it's just kind of like, I don't think I care as much, to be honest with you there, about New Year's.
No.
It's just another day at this point here for me. And thus, in this case, then, I just basically kind of knew, the weather was not going to be great. I knew I wasn't going to go out, so I decided to just treat myself well. So I went to the store way earlier in the day, and I got myself a roast and, some snacks and everything there. So,
nice.
Yeah. I was like, I'll treat myself nice,
Yeah, sometimes it's nice to just, make a home-cooked meal and just call it a day.
Not had to deal with people.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. I've become such an introvert ever since the pandemic. So, but
I get it, though. Shit.
It is what it is, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, but I still go out and do stuff, but it's just not nearly as much as I used to. I used to have a big old fear of missing out on things if I didn't go out, and now it's kind of like I have a fear of why did I go out, kind of thing. It was kind of like, why am I out? I'd rather be at home. So it's just kind of like, it's just my comfortable place, and I'm just happy when I'm by myself, So
well, and then when you were young too, when we were younger, it was a lot more fun. It's now
no fun anymore that we're older, huh?
No.
Come
on, no. I mean, it's fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's nice to just be home.
It's like you don't have to deal with other people's bullshit,
Right?
Yeah. That's probably my big thing there. It's kind of like, I don't smoke anymore. I don't, and thus in this case, then that was a big reason why I would go out before, is that I can hang out with all the other smokers, and now I don't smoke. So it's kind of like, what's the point of going out? I'm not going to stand in a, small little room, which is what basically smoking areas have been reduced to at most places nowadays, or outside,
Yeah, a lot of places you can't smoke in anymore, and
oh yeah.
You got to go outside and it's cold and all that extra shit. Ain't nobody got time.
And then also, too, plus, there's not really any 24-hour places anymore. Like, for example, whenever I used to go out and I would drink, there'd be, places you could go to afterwards. Like in Pittsburgh, there was a place called Ritter's, which is like a 24-hour restaurant.
They just closed, right?
Well, no, they're still around. They're just not open 24 hours
24,
anymore.
Yeah.
They close at regular hours now, like 8 or 9 p.m. They don't stay open all night anymore.
Wow.
Eaton Park used to be 24 hours. They're no longer 24 hours. Walmart used to be 24 hours. They're no longer 24 hours. I mean, the only place I can think of that's 24 hours is Sheetz,
Yeah, Sheetz and Speedway.
Right?
Sunoco ain't even open like that no more. I mean, I still see some.
Yeah.
But not like I used to. Not like it used to. There used to be so many places that used to be open 24/7.
I don't know. I think we're dealing with the enshittification of society as a whole. Yeah.
Yeah. And at the same time, the pandemic changed all that shit.
Yeah. Not for the better, though. Not for the better. So.
No, yeah, the pandemic changed all that shit.
Right. Will we ever go back to 24 hours? I don't know. But
I don't think so.
well, I wish we would, but anyways. Enough with that. Let's go ahead here and let's get into our stories, and here we go. So the first story is, am I the asshole for throwing a soda on the ground near the dude I bought it for? The story goes, I was going to McDonald's for a quick bite to go when a drunk, maybe homeless, definitely in some state, guy asked if I could buy him a burger. I said, sure, having been drunk plenty of times myself. I know a burger hits the spot when you're on one.
Right.
So I buy 2 big cheeseburger meals and walk out. I got all the food in the bag, 2 drinks in the other. I set the drinks down at an outside table and fish out one of the burgers and hand it to him. I set the fries on the table for him, and he's unwrapping his burger with some urgency. He takes the top off the burger and blurts out he hates tomatoes and throws the burger at my feet. Without really thinking, I pick up the drink I bought him and throw it at his feet. I was tempted to smack him, but I thought better of it. He started yelling at me and called me a tomato-ass motherfucker. This was actually kind of funny. I picked up my burger and took my tomato ass away from there. Oh, man.
Wow.
It's like beggars can't be choosers in this case, as far as I'm concerned. It's like, hey,
right.
buying them a burger. If you don't like the tomato, take the damn tomato off. Don't take the lid off your burger and be like, I don't like tomatoes, and throw a fit.
Fuck him.
Right.
That's on some. He's the complete asshole here.
Right. Exactly.
Ain't nothing else to say. He's a complete ass. And
the comments were funny.
True colors right then and there. So fuck him. Don't ever get him shit. Don't ever do nothing for him.
Right.
Fuck him.
Yeah, the commenters were funny, with all this here, because in this case then, yeah, it was like, you're not an asshole, but you're a dirty tomato ass motherfucker. And then the other person said, yeah, the poster is a highly inconsiderate tomato ass motherfucker. Although I am penniless, a hopeless alcoholic, habitual drug user, and I sleep in a wheelie bin, I would not even entertain the notion of consuming a burger unless it was a Wagyu beef patty with a smattering of butterhead lettuce served in a brioche bun. Just last week, a passerby tried to fob me off with a supermarket sandwich instead of bringing me a free-range nugget of lamb wrapped in a lattice pastry served with a medley of seasonal vegetables. I honestly have never been so insulted in my life. I mean, it's just kind of like, like I said, beggars can't be choosers. And
right.
It's literally, it's kind of like, okay, I mean, I kind of wonder about that sometimes, there, especially when you have people who are homeless, they're begging for stuff in the street. And unless you give them money, they don't want it, kind of thing.
But see, with an attitude like that, it makes you be like, wonder why you in this predicament. Mm-hmm. You're a complete ass.
Right? Exactly. So,
or maybe he's bipolar. You never know. Maybe just something ticks him off real quick, and he can't control his, and he's probably not medicated.
Yeah. So,
and he's drunk as hell.
I mean, yeah, he obviously has issues there. So,
but I'm not even going to give him no pass. No.
Right. Me neither.
You are a complete ass.
Tomato ass motherfucker, yeah.
Tomato ass motherfucker.
There we go. Anyways, let's go ahead here and move on to the second story. Am I the asshole for asking my friend's boyfriend to pay $150 after he had an accident on my couch in bed? So on Halloween, my boyfriend and I went out to a bar with friends, including my friend Jake and his boyfriend Dylan. We were all drunk and went back to my place at 1 a.m. to hang out since everyone's cars were there from the pregame. At some point, Dylan fell asleep on the couch. While we were talking, another friend suddenly told us that Dylan was having an accident on himself. But it was too late. It was soaked into my couch cushion. Jake didn't do anything, so another friend carried Dylan to the bathroom. My boyfriend had already gone to bed. When we came back, Dylan was gone. Somehow, while we were grabbing towels, he had gotten into our bed, still in his accident-soaked clothes, and laid down next to my sleeping boyfriend. He got pee all over the bed. We found them a few minutes later, woke my boyfriend up, and another friend moved Dylan back to the couch, except he laid on the other side this time and got an accident there too. Plus on the blanket he used. God. I told my boyfriend not to make a big scene because I figured Jake and Dylan would already be embarrassed. We threw out our bedding in the wash and ended up sleeping on the floor. Jake and Dylan stayed the night and left around 8 a.m. without cleaning anything, offering to help, or apologizing. When we woke around 10 a.m., the smell was horrible. We texted and called them. No answer for hours. I finally bought a carpet/upholstery cleaner for $150 and started cleaning the couch, the mattress, and blankets. I texted Jake. So I adore you and Dylan, but our couch smells like accidents, so we had to clean it. It's going to be $150. I'm going to request Dylan pay for it. My boyfriend told Dylan that he should cover the costs, and when they eventually answered at 2 p.m., he said the requests are from Jake on Venmo. 8 hours later, at 10 p.m. that night, Jake replied to my text from that morning. Hey, I don't know if it's fair for Dylan to pay us $150. He gives you half. Would that be cool? We could have used our own carpet cleaner. They never offered to bring one earlier, and by then, I was long done cleaning. I calmly explained that the expense was an option. We had to clean the mess, that $150 was cheaper than professional cleaning or replacing the cushions. Jake responded, whatever, dude, that's how y'all feel, take your money, and then Venmoed me the full $150. I didn't reply. Today, he texted, I'll bring the sweats if you let us borrow so we don't have to pay you for those as well. I'll leave them on your porch. We've been friends for almost 10 years, and I'm shocked by how petty and disrespectful he's been about this. Am I the asshole for asking for a reimbursement?
Absolutely not.
No. I wouldn't.
It's the simple fact that they left, didn't claim anything, didn't apologize, didn't offer to help. I think even if they would have done that, like got up, helped out, made sure they had everything clean, I think they wouldn't even have worried about that shit, you know?
Uh-huh.
But it's a simple fact. They didn't even bother to do that. So, yeah, I think $150 is right. This is how much it costs to clean my shit. That y'all literally put your own shit on.
Let's rewind back here. If they're having accidents like that, there's something seriously wrong.
Yeah, both of them. I think they were sick. Either they were sick or
just one of them had the accident.
Drunk?
Just one of them had the accident multiple times.
Were they drunk? I don't remember. They were drunk?
Yeah, it said we were all drunk. We went back to my place at 1 a.m. to hang out since everyone's cars were here from the pregame. And then at some point, Dylan fell asleep on the couch. So, and then while they're talking, their friend suddenly told us that Dylan was having an accident on himself. And so basically they carried Dylan to the bathroom, and basically Dylan ended up getting into the bed and got pee in there because he was still in his pee-covered clothes. So it was kind of like, peeing everywhere.
I would have still got my drunk ass up after I went in that bathroom, got in the shower or something, took them clothes off, got in the shower, something.
It sounds like Dylan was, a big problem here. And I actually had a ex who decided to go to their closet and pee in their closet. It didn't happen while we were together, but basically they went in there and peed in the closet, thinking it was the bathroom. And that should have been a warning sign right there. It's kind of like, yeah, you're a little bit out of control if you can't figure that out, Yeah,
if you're like up there shitting and pissing. Did they eat something that, I'm like, did they eat something before they went there that could possibly have fucked with them? Or
how's their house smell if he's peeing and, on himself and everything around him, So, but also too, there's been cases where people have had accidents there. It's been found out later on they may have cancer,
Oh.
So it could be something.
But they
like
both
that.
was having accidents, right?
No, just one of them, just Dylan.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but at this point, with the amount of accidents that Dylan had, he might as well, Jake might as well have had some accidents there too. It was just kind of like, the fact that Jake had a carpet cleaner of his own doesn't mean this is the first time this has happened with Dylan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's having an accident. Like he just. To me, if he know he have accidents and stuff, he should have been a little more prepared for his accidents. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think the commenters were, in agreement with that there. I I have a functioning alcoholic in my family who knows he has accidents while drunk. He brings his own waterproof bed cover or stays elsewhere. Slosh or not, he's responsible and needs to pay up. Being drunk isn't an excuse. Then the other person said, I doubt he's a bedwetter who's probably just so drunk he couldn't wake up to go to the bathroom. Similar to how people can die from choking on their own vomit because they passed out drunk. But yeah, he needs 100% to pay for that.
Yeah.
And then the third commenter was kind of right there. Oh, hell no. $150 for cleaning up piss and him destroying your couch? You might have cleaned the couch, but I promise it's all soaked in piss. And you will forever smell piss and likely never feel comfortable getting cozy on your couch again.
Mm-hmm.
Then the cost of cleaning up somebody else's piss. He should be thankful y'all didn't call the cops on him for climbing in bed with your husband. They both knew damn well he's a bedwetter. I'm sure their mattress is just nasty. Could you imagine what their mattress is like at home?
Yeah.
It's probably waterlogged.
But I mean, the climbing in the bed situation, I don't know if it's that deep. Like where they're like, you should have called the police. Like, damn, bro. Like, I don't think it was that deep.
I don't see where, like, what the police could do in that situation there. You know, it's not like
he probably
laws.
like he said he's literally shitting on himself and can't control it.
Pissing
He's
on
so
himself.
drunk and intoxicated. He probably just went and laid the fuck down.
Well, yeah, I'm figuring that's probably what happened here, but it's like literally, it was kind of like, you might as well get out of those piss-covered clothes if you're going to lay down in bed, you know? So literally, along with the pissing on the couch, you know, he then, you know, laid in the bed in his piss-covered clothes, you know, so he screwed up the bed, screwed up the couch. Literally, it was kind of like, you know, he's just wreaking havoc wherever he went, apparently. So, and I'm sorry, if you're just so drunk that you can't control yourself, you need to, number one, apologize. Number two, offer the cleanup and deal with any remembrances.
Yeah.
It's come from that there.
He didn't do none of those things.
Yeah. Just kind of like, so sad.
Didn't bother, didn't ask. None of that.
We pissed on everything that you own. I'm sorry.
That's funny as hell.
Anywho.
That's wild as hell. Like,
see, I would have called them a tomato ass motherfucker, but
yes, now that's a tomato ass motherfucker.
Uh-huh. Or in this case, a piss ass motherfucker. But anyways,
pissed pot, shitty bag.
Well, they didn't. That didn't occur. At least number two didn't occur. It's number one. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna take a break. We'll be right back with more of the Joevelocity Show after these messages. And welcome on back to the Joevelocity Show. Once again, here with Hubba. So anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the third story here. Am I the asshole for trying to completely alleviate my manager's concern as to whether or not I was drinking on the job? I work at a bar restaurant. I've been working a year and already moved up to server from having previous experience. Many servers drink, but I'm not one of them. Yesterday, one of the floor managers pulled me aside and said he could smell alcohol on my breath. I replied there was absolutely no way I've been drinking anything. He said he was going to send me home and that we'd be having a conversation the next day. I insisted that I had not, nor would ever drink on the job. He said, whatever, stop taking tables and finish out the tickets you have while I confer with the other managers. So as soon as he left, I called the non-emergency number and requested an officer come down to the bar because people suspect the staff is intoxicated. 2 police officers arrived and I made sure I let them know I was the one who called. I explained the whole entire situation. They immediately took me outside and performed a sobriety test. I blew a 0. They waited for my managers to come out. They told me I had called and then I blew a 0 and passed the sobriety test. None of the managers said anything to me, but this morning the owner brought me into his office and fired me for insubordination. He would not tell me anything specific that I did wrong. He just kept saying it's not hard to follow the rules here. But when I would ask what rule I broke, he would just say, I'm not going to argue with you. What the hell?
Oh, no. That's a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lawsuit for the simple fact that you sat up there and made it like that man was drinking when he wasn't, and he blew a sobriety.
Right.
He did a sobriety test to prove that he does not drink.
Right.
You know, and for you to even put that on him, it's like they wanted something on him.
Yeah, but it was also kind of like a situation.
Take their ass to court.
Where it was kind of like whenever, he proved them wrong, it's kind of like, they doubled down and fired him,
Wow.
because that whole entire situation there. So
that's fucking insane.
That's just weird. Like you said, the commenters were quite, appalled by this here. And they said, the first one said, an asshole, call a lawyer. Yeah. I mean, it was like literally, I don't know why, this situation happened. And then the second commenter said they got fired for bringing cops to the bar that proved the manager's wrong. The truth is, the management could have legally fired the poster, even though you're 100% wrong about them drinking on the job. At will means they can fire you for any reason or no reason at all, just as long as it isn't illegal. Nothing that OP, the poster, has said sounded anything like anything fishy was going on. Just sounds like an incompetent, egotistical management who do want to be proven wrong, and an owner who cares more about managers' feelings than they do about their lower-level employees. Literally no lawyer in their right mind would take this case unless the poster just happened to neglect mentioning a huge flag. So I'm just kind of curious here why this even happened. Was it the management just hated them and wanted them fired? Or was it something else there?
I don't know, but I mean, they probably could get away with just firing him.
Yeah.
They probably could.
Like, we're moving in a different direction kind of thing, And then
Yeah, we trying to get lawyers involved. We about to call them.
Right. And that
we about to protest.
Just to me, there just seemed kind of odd, just kind of like
that's an awkward reason to fire somebody.
Yeah,
that's
agree.
An awkward reason. If that person went out their way to prove to you that they're sober, wouldn't you you actually trust that person more than?
Well, it was kind of like if I had to do that in the first place, there, it was.
I wouldn't want to be there anyway.
Yeah,
either.
It's kind of like the situation thing was already done, at least in the poster's mind,
It's like they wanted something on him, like I said.
Yeah. So, anyways, that brings us to our final story, the moment of conclusion. And it goes, am I the asshole for starting a civil war at the workplace? I work at Target, an early morning stalker. Me and the unload team come in early in the morning, and the first thing we do is unload the truck full of merchandise. That involves standing at a conveyor belt type line and grabbing our assigned boxes and sorting them on our assigned pallets and flats. We recently hired a new guy, we'll just call him Michael. He's well liked among some people here because he makes them laugh and talks in funny voices. It's actually pretty immature because he's in his 30s, but people like it for whatever reason. I'm of the opinion that there's a time and place for goofing off and making people laugh, and work isn't one of them. Anyways, he works the line and is constantly getting backed up and congested because he's just standing around socializing and talking in his low, annoying voices. There was even one time when the line got backed up because he was standing around and trying to hit the high note on Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. A bunch of boxes fell off the line because they got all backed up, and our boss started yelling because of us, because Michael is a lazy jack-off. Last week it was more the same. The line was completely congested because Michael wasn't working it. He is more focused on trying to do his Pee Wee Herman impression. I tried pushing the line, but he gave me a dirty look and yelled at me that the line was stalled. I yelled back at him, maybe the line would be stalled if you weren't standing around trying to make your stupid fucking noises. Some girls nearby gasped, as that was the worst possible thing that I could have said to him. He yelled at me not to talk back to someone who's older than him. I responded that I'll yell at anybody who's not doing work regardless of their age. Me and him kept shouting at one another, and other employees had to break us apart. We both got pulled into the boss's office and got a lecture, but I thankfully didn't get fired. Unfortunately, Michael didn't either. That was last week, and the store is in complete disarray because of the incident with me and Michael. Some employees have come to me and say I did the right thing by calling them out, but others apparently think that I'm the asshole. One girl even went up to me and told me that Michael's a nice guy, and I don't know how to have fun. There have even been 2 physical fights about the whole thing. One guy went up to Michael and called him an annoying sack of shit. One of Michael's friends got pissed and a fight broke out. They both got fired, and the day after that, practically the same thing happened. Now we have coworkers who are taking either Michael's side or my side. Former friends are being put against one another because they disagree on whether or not Michael is annoying and lazy, and our boss has even held a team meeting to discuss tensions and warn us against furthering this conflict. What do you make of this? And guess what? Update.
Isn't that day?
So basically, the commenters, I guess, said that the poster wasn't the asshole and I did nothing wrong, at least in terms of everyone at work taking sides and fighting over the whole me versus Michael incident. But things completely blew up at work and multiple people were fired as a result. So things started yesterday when someone broke into Michael's locker and poured a whole bulk bottle of hand sanitizer in his backpack. His backpack contained stuff like spare clothes and even his wallet, and apparently they were all ruined. Nobody knows who did it, but before we started the unload of the truck today, our team lead held a meeting and said he's going to start firing people who continue to escalate the situation. One idiot spoke up and said, "Go ahead and try. You don't have the power to fire us." And guess what? He got fired on the spot. The team lead made him turn in his name badge and discount card right there in front of us and sent him out. Tensions are already high to start the day. Our team lead was in a bad enough mood that it was, but the unload was when things got really ugly. During the unload, the line got stalled again, and take a wild guess whose fault it was. Fucking Michael. His part of the line stopped everything from moving, and that was because he was playing on his phone and trying to look up a song. I would have thought that he learned from the last one, but apparently not. I was honestly thinking that maybe he was trying to goad me into yelling at him again, so I held my tongue. The line started moving again, but then it gets stopped because Michael starts talking to a girl and talking like Donald Duck. I snapped again and I yelled, "Michael, knock it off." Michael didn't say anything, but the girl he was talking to got up in my face and yelled at me to leave Michael alone and stop singling him out. But before I could even respond to her, one of Michael's friends chucks a box at me, but it accidentally hits the girl that was yelling at me. She fell to the ground crying, and Michael's friend kept apologizing, but the girl's friend jumped him and started slapping him. He shoved her to the ground. A whole bunch of people were stepping in and trying to break them apart. Right when it looked like things were starting to calm down, Michael says, "Notice what have happened if certain people know how to keep their mouths shut." The jet at me really got to me, and I shoved him back into a pallet. A whole mountain of boxes came crashing down on him, and that's when one of his other friends jumped me, pulled me to the ground, and started punching me. I tried to fight back, but he pulled off and saw our team leader was prying the whole entire bunch of people off one another. The team leader yelled, "All of you out," and he started yelling about how he's sick of this job and he hates babysitting us. At least 5 people, including me, were fired today. And on top of that, the team lead quit on the spot. And get this, I ended up getting a call from the store manager who tells me that the entire flow team is in complete chaos, and we don't have enough people to unload this morning's truck, that we never finish, and she blames me. She tells me not to ever come in the store again, and that she might press charges for being disruptive and violent.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it just sounds like the team lead's not doing their job because they would have realized Michael's backing up the line.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this whole team just sounds chaotic as hell. Just from the choosing the sides, and it's unnecessary. And Michael is definitely the cause of all this bullshit. I mean, he's part of the cause of all this bullshit. He started all this in the first place. There's a time. No, listen. It's okay to be funny. It's okay to enjoy your job.
Right.
It's okay to make people laugh or whatever. But when it's getting in the way of your job, that's the first thing you're supposed to be focused on in the first place.
It starts interfering with your job and stopping your job from, occurring properly. Yeah. I think it becomes a
exactly.
problem.
You're just screwing over everybody and yourself.
Right. Yeah.
But then the problem is people took a liking to him, so they're defending him and not actually holding him responsible for his actions. If you're going to be this like funny guy or whatever, go to Comic View or some shit, or go do stand-up or something if you're going to do all that, if it's getting in the way of your work. Maybe that's the kind of work you should be doing.
It also sounds like all these people were like 18, 19, 20,
Yeah, they sound like a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think this whole situation just got out of hand.
Right. Yeah, and it was just
I'm just hearing a punching, kicking, fighting, throwing stuff, yelling, screaming. It's just, my God, this place is just toxic.
Right. Yeah. So I think they deserve to be fired, for just the fighting part, So.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I do hope that the person that wrote this, I hope that person was able to move on and find another job, because it sounded like they just wanted to work.
It just seemed like a complete utter mess, and it was just kind of like, you know what? I don't blame the team lead for being like, fuck this, I'm done. Yeah, and
He didn't have
speaking,
no control of it anymore.
I like the part where the team leader quits. I'm reading the comments here. I like the part where the team leader quits on the spot, but only after firing everyone way too fucking late.
Yeah.
I can see that. Fuck you and fuck this shit in that order. And the commenters go on to say, yeah, the real asshole in this story is the team lead. Them not doing their job resulted in like 10 other people losing theirs. OP, the poster, and Michael were also assholes, though. There were much better ways, and both of them kind of dealt with the situation, and ultimately their antics led to this mass firing spree. The manager threatening OP with charges is also insane. Like, holy fuck, I've had some hostile workplaces. But this is the hostile workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a
Very
workplace like that,
much so.
ever? I haven't.
Huh?
I've never had a workplace like that before.
I've been in a workplace where it's been like too toxic, too much going on, and
Well, I think we all have there, but I don't think people have been actually physically fighting, you know?
no,
Yeah.
no. You
Right.
know, if that's the case, then I don't know. There's too much going on. There was too much going on in that workplace. He was letting them get away with way too much.
Yeah. So, if it was me, I would smack the shit out of all these posters. But anyways.
Mhm. But you know what? You ever notice that you always see a lot of these like convenience stores or you know, whatever, you see all these people, these employees always in the fighting, and
Yeah.
it be all on camera.
Right? Yeah, it's just these people. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this show here. I want to thank you very much for checking out the Joevelocity Show. Make sure to subscribe to this show in your favorite podcast app to listen on demand so you don't miss an episode. Visit us online at joevelocityshow.com. Thanks for listening. Have a good one. See ya.
Bye-bye.